And we are two of the foremost practitioners, teachers, and authors. And Michael is a scholar and in Vedic sciences, focused mostly on Vastu Shastra, the science of building in harmony with nature and aligning our bodies and our environments to the forces that affect us throughout our lives. The magnetic energy coming from the north and the solar energy coming from the east. We are excited to share today with you because it's a new month and our focus is on rebirth and connecting to the divine feminine energy, which is happening this month, and it's happening very powerfully this month. We're also connecting to our creative energy through this time and our ability to accept ourselves and one another. And I wrote about this a lot in our recent blog that was posted on Friday on our Vastu Creations website. So if you haven't seen that post, I would advise you to take a look at it. It kind of explains this time that we're moving into. It's really an empowering time, very different than what we've experienced in this last, God, I don't know how long. Has it been a year or so that we've been in this crazy energy with Capricorn?
Over a year.
Over a year. So Michael is going to talk all about that, and and then we're going to activate our new altar. This is an abundance altar, focused on this energy that is happening now on the planet, and I think we're all just feeling it, and it's going to get stronger and stronger, right, through
Yes.
the next couple weeks. So Michael is going to share with you about this astrology, a little bit of what's happening this week and the month.
Yes, so today is April 5th. It's a very significant date in that uh, Jupiter stays in one sign for a whole year. And today it's moving from Capricorn into Aquarius.
Yay!
And so Capricorn, Jupiter is all about expansion, and it really doesn't like to be in Capricorn because Capricorn is very restrictive. You can think of lockdown, you can think of, of feeling, yeah, just the main thing is lockdown. And so now
in constriction.
And constriction.
Yeah.
And so here we're moving from, Jupiter's moving into Aquarius. This happens every 12 years. And so it's like things are opening up. There's new optimism, there's new opportunities, there's new hope. It will go back into retrograde and go back into Capricorn September 20th to September 13th to November 20th, just for a very brief time, and there may be some more variants happening during that time. But you can really track the pandemic just from the movement of Jupiter. So Jupiter first went into Capricorn January of 2020. And so that seems to be, not the real start of the pandemic, but for the US and most of the world, that's when we became aware of it. And a couple of times it's gone back and forth into Aquarius. In September of 2020, it went back into Aquarius again for a brief time, and we felt some hope and optimism, and then it went back into Capricorn, and so we had, again, a lot of places had to have a second lockdown, new variants arising. But yeah, this is definitely a good move. Now, it doesn't all happen at once. Just today is the beginning, and so it will develop more over time, this feeling of abundance, knowledge, truth, optimism, hope, and new opportunities and new discoveries in terms of the cures for the pandemic. So it's really, I think, an auspicious time, and I'm going to tell a little story in Vedic mythology later in our Zoom call today, or our FaceTime call today. But for now, yeah, this is this is kind of what's happening, and so I'm very excited about it. I think we're going to all be experiencing more truth, more freedom as time goes on. People will feel more confident about going out and traveling, etc.
That's very exciting. And I think also what's this underlying theme is this the energy shift from the very patriarchal system that we've been feeling very strongly for the past couple of years, actually millennia years, thousands of years, and this new kind of awakening and rebirth of the energy of compassion and the creative arts and this feeling of seeing ourselves in a very different light, more gently than we have, less criticism, less judgmental, and more compassionate for people who do not share our views. And I think it's going to also show us a time where we can come together,
Yeah.
and also have a sense of unity. And I think we're seeing that a lot here in the U.S. There was all this talk in the beginning when the vaccine came out, and I know a lot of people are wary of the vaccine. A lot of people have a lot of judgment and issues around vaccinations altogether. But the observation that I'm just going to point out is that over 70% of the population in the U.S. has already had at least one of the vaccine shots if they've gotten either Moderna or Pfizer. And I'm also seeing the numbers reducing in terms of death and illness. So here in the U.S., we've had pretty much a devastating year, and all of a sudden, and I think it's since we've had a change in government, there is a lot more support for our general population and in bringing some awareness to the need as a community. And I know a lot of people individually have issues with this, but when you see how many people have been affected by this, how many people in families have died, you know, not just one, but maybe two or three. It's devastating, and that we need to stop that. And so we're seeing a shift, and just a willingness to take on another perspective, and also all the creative things, and even within the sciences that will come out of all of this research that's being done. We're just at the very, very beginning of this transformation. It is somewhat of a renaissance that we're going through. I see it that way. And
Yeah, as you were saying, I was just thinking about Aquarius. It's about coming in together to move humanity forward and to bring power back to all of us. You know, so it is a big shift, and yeah, so it's exciting.
It's exciting, and so in honor of this new season of rebirth and the energies, and I really considered this, what this altar was about. We've talked about it, whether it was going to be a spirituality altar or an abundance altar. And I see this as an abundance altar because within the abundance altar, there is this feeling of an abundance of everything, of our spiritual nature, and a more positive energy towards our relationships, and more discoveries around health issues. And everything is on the upbeat when we focus on the abundance. And one thing that I really see that's important is where we place our attention. It is like, and I've talked about this before, we don't obsess about where we place our intention. This isn't about this kind of crazy focused laser-like energy on change and transformation in your life. It is really about holding your intention very gently. And those of you who meditate, and especially those of you who have a mantra-based meditation, understand how the mantra becomes part of your nervous system, and it's just almost a vibration that you pick up and release and pick up and release. So we're asking you to subtly hold all that you desire at that very um, subtle level of existence, and and saying that within the altar, that is how things are created. They come out of this subtle level of existence, and they say that within the universe, the primordial sound within the universe is Om.
Right.
And Om is a vibration of creation. And so that is what the space element, which is in the center of the altar, is like. If you could see this altar ignited energetically, it is like a holographic, three-dimensional, vibrational yantra. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
And what comes out of space and is created in the physical returns to space. So if you see the energy once the altar is ignited, it creates that conduit from the physical creation of the altar to the unseen on a very subtle level again. And the frequency is such that when the altar, especially this altar, which is the abundance altar, is placed in the north area of your home, and I've built it as if it's against the north wall so that you could see what the elements look like. And we start after we talk about the space element. Again, everything starts in space on that very, very subtle frequency, and it will end on space. So this is like a giant three-dimensional spiral that is also a vibratory yantra energetically. Physically, the elements set up in this way create a specific frequency when placed in the north for abundance. The air element, which we have represented as our peacock feather, and the incense is placed in the northwest. Northwest represents air, the air element. This one broke. This was like, just gonna light these. I gotta do it again.
Oh, okay. You keep time.
Okay. That. All right. Sorry about that. Subtle vibration comes from space into the air element. The air element is related to the mind. So this thought, this inspiration comes into the mind, this subtle desire, and it moves into the water element. It's like a birthing. It's the gestation of that feeling, that thought, that idea that comes in from a very, very subtle level. And then as it gestates and formulates, it moves into the fire element. The fire element brings that spark, that enlivening energy, that if you can imagine this experience of joining the male and female energy together, and that's exactly where it happens. This energy, this is more feminine energy. The air and the water and the fire and the earth are the more grounding energy that brings it into physical form. It's like the nervous system and the blood have this the nervous system is electric and the blood is magnetic, and it creates a pathway to allow the grounding element of the earth element to bring things into fruition. So you need that spark of passion, you need that energy of fire and of heat, and then it's grounded into the physical form in the earth element area. So This is in the northwest. The air element, the water element is in the northeast. The fire element is in the southwest, and southeast, and the earth element's in the southwest. In the middle is the space element. In back, we have our personal symbol. Here is Lakshmi. And because there is this creative element that is also being enlivened on the planet right now, I added Saraswati. Saraswati is a representation of Gayatri. Is Lakshmi as well? Not so much, but I think it's Gayatri more so, as one of the wives of, in Hindu mythology, one of the wives of Vishnu, which is
female energy of the divine.
Of the divine and of manifestation. As you can see, also this gorgeous painting that our friend Scott Haig painted for us of Lakshmi. I'll have more information on his paintings this month. I swear to God, he has been working on this diligently, and I haven't been updated this week, so I'll keep you posted and give you more information next week. So this is the energy conduit for manifesting more abundance in your life. And this is the beginning of the time when that frequency, that energy is so much more available on the planet than it has been in a long, long time. I don't know about you, but I am really feeling that creative energy. And not only that, I'm feeling the physical energy to support that energy moving out into the planet. And I think that is what's been missing. I think people have become very dull in this whole period of COVID. And then we started feeling a little bit more enlivening energy after the first of the year, but we were still not feeling 100%. And I think now the pathways are being cleared and we're starting to make this forward motion. So air is possibilities and inspiration. Water is spiritual energy, gestation, magnetic energy, sparked by fire, the inspiration, the intention, the action needed, and the earth element for the power and bringing thought into form and manifestation of intention. This month, I'll just mention quickly, we have, or this, I guess it might be this month, we're going to have the Ganesh yantra on special. We'll talk more about that later, but I put that in our offering tray along with our mantra beads that we have on our website, our sandalwood mantra beads, and I like to use those when I'm doing japa, which is a repetition of 108 times of a mantra. It's very powerful. And what's nice about sandalwood is that it holds the vibration of the mantra, and then you can put it on after you've used it. Also added my wish list. And what I like to do is I have a intention, and I said, I am aligned with Divine Mother and serving the greater good. All my needs are met, and abundance flows to me with ease. And then on the inside, I wrote 3 words, what it would feel like to have that. And my 3 words are fulfillment, joy, and flow. So that goes in the offering tray. Also, the other one of our special is the EMF pendant. We'll talk more about that a little later. Michael's going to talk about that. I also added an Om symbol that we also have on our website that I like to add to my altar, but we also have one on the front door. Peace is the symbol. And then we also have a keystone. And the keystone is another protective device. It's made of the highest crystal count quartz, and we use it in many different ways. Explanation is on the website. I like to put them on the altar just to really bring an energy of support and protection. So that's everything on the altar, and Michael is going to lead us on the igniting of the altar, and then after that, he's going to take us on a chakra clearing sound meditation to balance the energy centers and the 5 elements within us, and then we'll go into our mantras.
Okay, let's close our eyes and take a deep breath in, and let all the cares of the day go. Now you can just mentally take your intentions and hold them to your heart and start taking some long, slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. And as you breathe in, feel every particle of your being of what it would feel like to already have or own whatever you wrote on the piece of paper. Feel that sense of joy, fulfillment, and gratitude in every particle of your being. Bring a big, big smile to your face. Now, mentally, you can just take that piece of paper and put it in the center of your altar. And we're going to chant the Ganesh mantra 9 times using the Gomukhi mudra, the mudra of intention. You need to open your eyes to see what that looks like. It's basically the thumb is holding the 2 middle fingers into your palm, and your pointer finger and baby finger are sticking out. So we'll point 9 times and chant the Ganesh mantra to remove the obstacles to manifest your intention. Om Gang Ganapatiye Namaha. 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 Relax your hands. Take another deep breath in and hold it. And as you breathe out, just surrender all those intentions to the divine. It's in divine time to manifest those desires. So now just keep the eyes closed, and I'm going to take you on a little chakra clearing meditation. Take another deep breath in. And as you let go, become aware of the base chakra. You can chant along with me the sound lum, 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 lum. Base chakra is associated with the planet Saturn, and it is where the grounding energy comes from, the earth element. You can say to yourself, I feel grounded, stable. Take another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring your awareness to your sex chakra, your genital area. And you're going to chant together. Bum, 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 bum. The sex chakra is associated with the planet Jupiter, and it's all about expansion, creation, creativity, procreativity as well. I am very creative, you can say to yourself. Once again, take another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring your awareness to your solar plexus, the navel chakra. And you can chant with me. Rum, 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 rum. The navel chakra is associated with the planet Mars. It is associated with passion and ambition and power and courage. And you can say to yourself, I am very passionate. Take another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring your awareness to your heart chakra. You can chant with me the mantra Yum 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 yum. The heart chakra is associated with the planet Venus, which is connected to love and compassion. You can say to yourself, I am compassionate and loving. Another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you can bring your awareness to your throat chakra. And you can chant with me the sound hum. Hum, 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 hum. Throat chakra is associated with Mercury, which is all about communication. And also gratitude. You can say to yourself, I'm very grateful for all that I have, for being alive. Take another deep breath in. And as you let go, become aware of your third eye, Naval Chakra. And you can chant with me the sound kasham. Kasham, 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 kasham. The third eye is associated with your intuition. And you can say to yourself, I am very intuitive. Take another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you can bring your awareness to the crown chakra, the top of your head, and you can chant the sound with me, Om. Om, 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 Om. The crown chakra is associated with surrender, being one with all that is. You can say to yourself, I am surrendered. I am one with all that is. You can just keep your eyes closed, and we're going to chant some more mantras. The first mantra is the Lakshmi mantra. I'm going to chant it 3 times. Om Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Om Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Om Shrim Klim Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Robin's going to chant the Mrityunjaya mantra.
Om Triambagam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivartanam Urvarukamiva Bantana Mrityor Mukshi Amamrutat.
I'm going to chant the Saraswati mantra for creativity 3 times. Om Saraswati Devye Namaha. Om Saraswati Devye Namaha. Om Saraswati Devye Namaha. And with your eyes closed, we're going to do some alternate nostril breathing. Remember, you place your 2 middle fingers on your third eye, and then you use your thumb to close off your right nostril, and you breathe out the left nostril and in the left nostril, and then you use your pinky and your ring finger to close off your left nostril. You breathe out your right nostril and in your right nostril. We'll just do this back and forth 5 times. You can relax your hands and bring a big smile to your face. I'm going to chant the Gayatri mantra. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yo Nat Prachodayat Om Apo Jyotir Samvitam Brahma Bhuvasvarom Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yo Nat Prachodayat Om Apo Jyotir Samvitam Brahma Bhuvasvarom Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yo Nat Prachodayat Om Apo Jyotir Samvitam Brahma Bhuvasvarom. Gayatri is the mother goddess for support and love in our life. And you can gradually, slowly open your eyes with a big smile, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit of a story. According to Vedic mythology, there was a time, like now, when Jupiter was in Capricorn, or like we were just coming out of. And this may sound familiar. It's a time where the leaders were feeling a little arrogant and they're not upholding the Dharma, the right action of the land. And Lakshmi, who was there to support that Dharma, deserted the leaders. And without that protection of Lakshmi, the demons began to attack the leaders. And that was a very dark period. Vishnu stepped in and got the leaders and the demons to work together to churn the ocean, to bring back that dharma, that right action. They used a serpent to churn the ocean. And what emerged was a poison, and that poison killed many people. Shiva stepped in briefly and drank that poison and saved the day. But eventually, Lakshmi reemerged, and Dhanvantri, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago, the aspect of the divine that is the healer, the father of Ayurveda, the science of healing. And Dhanvantri had a pot of nectar that was to heal everyone from the poison. It's called Amrita. It's the divine nectar. And so what happened was people, as Aquarius moved into, Jupiter moved into Aquarius, which is what's happening starting today. Then this Dharma, right action, came back into play, and this happens, as I was saying, every 12 years, and they have a celebration it's kind of a spiritual festival to celebrate this time of reawakening, rebirth, coming back into the light, and it's known as Kumbhala Maya, and Kumbh means Aquarius, so it's actually the starting of the time of Aquarius. Now remember, this doesn't happen all of a sudden, it's a gradual thing, but we're starting today, and it's very, very powerful. And Robin and I were very fortunate to be at one of these Kumbhala Maya celebrations. You may have heard about it. Thousands of sadhus come out of their caves and come and bathe in the Ganges to celebrate this reawakening, rebirth. And so, yeah, we were very fortunate to be there. It was a very, very powerful experience many, many years ago. So that's my little story. And it's very, it sounds very familiar from what we've been through.
Yeah. History repeats itself. Even mythological history repeats itself. So I have some announcements. For those of you who read our newsletters, you might already know this, but the Mantra Mondays is now going to be on YouTube for those people who don't have Facebook or Instagram. So you could share that with people. It also shows up pretty soon after we finish the live on Facebook. The plugs. Where are the plugs? These plugs, which are our special, because we're giving more of a percentage off these than we normally can give. This is the EMF whole house plug, and this is the EMF USB plug that is for the house or the car. These two are on sale for at least 25% off. This one, the USB, works in Europe and everywhere, but
in your car.
And in your car. So because this is a three-prong plug that looks like this, it's very different. Their plugs are different in Europe than they are in the US. This only works in the US. These plugs work in the house in an area up to 2,500 square feet. So some people who have bigger houses say, do I need more? And yeah, you'll need a second one. These are on special. There's a special link on the newsletter. There is a special going out again tomorrow on Facebook to remind everybody, just a reminder special. These don't have a code, but I'm putting these down. The Ganesh yantra and the EMF pendant, which has the same paramagnetic material as the plugs, are both on special for 20% off through the end of the month. So those two as well, and we have this one designed and made for us in Bali. So this is Bali silver, and this one's from India. Those are our specials. The pendant does everything that the plugs do. It's just like you're wearing it when you're not in the car or in the house. You're walking around, you're protected. It balances your biofield. It protects and promotes wellness of your meridians and neutralizes the EMF and restores the natural balance of the winding and unwinding of your DNA. And ambient, and protects against the ambient EMFs. I think I said that already. We'd love it if you're going to create an abundance altar for this month to send us pictures, any testimonials you have from the, can you turn that off? Sorry about that, just